Kathie from the Marquette Heights Library, here to practice some yoga with you. But first I want to tell you about Saturday. It's the National Day of Unplugging. So from Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, try to stay off your electronic devices. And then come up to the Little Free Library at Independence Park and look and see what's in there. And then there's a scavenger hunt. So with that said, let's get started with some yoga. Excuse me. So sit on your mat. Oh, for this thing, we'll need a towel that we're going to roll like a Tootsie Roll. So my throat has decided to be weird. And we'll just keep that in front of us because we're going to use it fairly soon. So sit, find yourself, and find your breath. Connect with your breath. And your body. And from your mind, let it all go. When thoughts come, and they will, just let them float away. And then come back to your breath. Notice any sensations in your body and let them go too. Can you notice an itch or a tickle and just let it go? Find a deep, steady belly breath. Belly out on the inhale and belly in on the exhale. Notice the pause at the top and the bottom of the breath. And don't judge it. It's not too long or too short. It's just right. And now begin to make tiny little spinal circles. barely moving at all. Keeping that diaphragmatic breath. And allow your circles to get bigger and bigger. And bigger and bigger. And allow your neck to get involved. And then let your circles begin to get smaller. Until finally you come to stillness. And then begin going the other way. Tiny circles first. And then a little bigger. And this can be a meditation. If you stare at something straight ahead on the floor, keep your eyes closed. Meditation doesn't have to be complete stillness. And then let your circles get smaller and smaller until you're barely moving at all. And coming back to stillness. Gently rock your shoulders up to your ears and back down your spine and forward and back, and really feel those shoulder blades sliding down your spine. And then go the opposite direction. And then stillness. Hands out front, clasp them together. Flip your palms over. Press, press, press. Separating those shoulder blades. And then bring the hands behind, clasping them behind, pressing your fists towards the floor, lifting the heart, tucking the chin. Find your breath. And folding from the hips, come forward, lifting the hands and the arms if you can. And let your fists carry you back up. And release. Just notice how you feel. Walk your fingertips out to the side. Lift the other arm. Press it up towards the ceiling, then bend the planted elbow and reach over. And then rainbow over to the other side. And again, making some nice little rainbows. And then back up to neutral and spin one way for our simple twist. Twist to the other side. And let's just move back and forth a few times. One more time each side. And then back to neutral. If you're sitting on a block, move it. You'll need your towel, soles of the feet together. The rolled up Tootsie Roll towel goes on top and wrap the ends around to the inside for bound angle. And this is it. This is our pose. Angle because our knees, our legs are at an angle. The Sanskrit word is Baddha Konasana. Baddha is bound, Kona is angle, and asana is pose. Now, if this is enough of a stretch for you, just stay here. But if you would like to go further, just grab hold of your feet. And we're not rounding right just yet. We're bringing our chest towards our feet. And then, when you've gone as far as you can, go ahead and round your neck. And then up. And bring your towel out front. Roll it back up. We'll need it at the end. And then come over to table pose. And cat and cow your spine. Inhaling when you're lifted, you're looking upward. And exhaling when you're rounded. And neutral spine. Then let's just make some barrel rolls. And then go the other direction. And come to neutral. Toes under. Press into your fingers, spread your fingers wide, and lift your knees 1 inch. And breathe. Lower your knees to the floor. Whoa. Calf stretched. Right leg back. Press the mat forward. Press into that calf. Cross it over and look back at it. A little side stretch. And bring it back in. Lift that knee out to the side and straighten the leg and bend and straighten and bend, and straighten. One last time, bend, straighten, and place it down. Other side, calf stretch. Cross it over and look back. Bring it back in, lift that knee out to the side and straighten it and bend, straighten, bend, straighten, bend, straighten, bend, and place it on the floor. Walk your hands forward, preparing for down dog. Toes under, press into the hands, lift the knees, and slowly lift up. Lift your hips nice and high, sit bones pointing towards the ceiling, knees bent still. And then begin to walk one heel up as you bend the opposite knee, and then switch. Walking the dog. Adding a little twisting, if that would feel good. And then come to stillness with your dog. Bend your knees, lift those sit bones high. And if you need to keep your knees bent, that's good. That's fine. Find your breath. And very slowly lower your knees to the floor. Uncurl your toes and sit back in child's. Walk your fingertips out. Lift back up to table and down dog. Come forward to plank. Adjust your feet if you need to. Now for this next vinyasa, we're going to keep our feet right here. Come back to down dog. Round through the shoulders and come forward to up dog. Back to down dog. Forward to plank. Down dog. Curl up and come forward to up dog. And down dog. Plank. Down dog. And lower to your knees. Rest in child. Rest your arms back by your feet. Slide your fingertips out. Lift up through table. Toes under, down dog. Bring the right knee towards your nose. Bring your shoulders right over your wrists. And then come back to down dog. Lift that right leg up. The foot is flexed. Turn and stack the hips. Look out under the right arm. Square the body to the mat. Come forward again, knee to nose, sort of. And then drop that knee by the right thumb, slide the left leg back, pigeon. Sleeping pigeon. Lift up to pigeon. Back toes under. Lift up, down dog with that right leg up. And place that right foot on the floor. Left leg up. Knee comes forward, shoulder over wrist. Leg back, three-legged dog. Twist, stacking the hips. Square the hips. Bring that knee forward, shoulders forward too. Drop that knee, slide or walk the right leg back, pigeon. And sleeping pigeon. Lift up. Back toes under. Down dog with that left leg up. Lower that leg to the floor. Lift those sit bones high. Lower to the knees. Rest in child's. Rest your arms back by your feet. Slide your hands forward. Walk your fingertips out. Lift up through table. Toes under, down dog. Come forward to plank. Down dog. Forward to up dog. Down dog, that's one. We'll do three. Plank. Down dog. Up dog. Down dog. Two. Plank. Down dog. Up dog. Down dog. And child. You can do more if you'd like. Lift up through table. Down dog. And find your version of down dog. And stay here for 5 breaths. And walk to the hands. My hands were sliding forward there. Find your Tadasana feet. Spread your toes, middle toes point forward. Knees can be bent. And just ragdoll. Find stillness. Bend and straighten one knee at a time. Bend both knees and roll up. Shoulders are down. Chin is tucked. Knees have a slight bend. Pelvis is tilted forward. And you're breathing. And somewhere in all that instruction you can find relaxation. Bring your hands to your low back. Pull your belly in and press those hips forward. Chin is still tucked. Back of the neck is long. And then keeping that length in the neck, gradually look up. And back up to standing in Tadasana, mountain pose. Reach your arms overhead, half sun salutations. Reach back. On an exhale, fold through a flat back and all the way down. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend to the knees, reach up. Reach back. Forward fold. Exhaling all the way down. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale down. Bend the knees, inhale up. Reach back. Exhale down. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, inhale up. Reach back. Hands in prayer in front of the heart, Anjali Mudra. It's a full sun salutation. Reach up and back. Swan dive. Half lift. Forward fold. Right leg back, lunge. reach up, low lunge, plank, knees, chest and chin, up dog, down dog, right leg forward, to lunge, help it if it doesn't come all the way, high lunge, low lunge, back foot forward, inhale, exhale, fold, bend the knees, reach up, reach back, and swan dive, half lift, forward fold, left leg back lunge, reach up, forward, or come forward, step back to plank, knees, chest, and chin, and scoop up to up dog, down dog, left leg forward, high plank or high lunge, low lunge, back foot forward, inhale, exhale, fold, reach up, reach back, hands to heart. And Tadasana is our resting pose. So find your breath. Release your hands. And turn to the long side of your mat. Feet far apart, a little bit far apart, toes pointing outward for goddess pose. And then squat into goddess. Shoulders and arms press back, knees press open, belly in, finding your breath. And then reach up and squat back down to goddess. Let's do that 2 more times. And up and goddess. And then up to star. Heel toe the feet wider, toes pointing forward this time. Hands to the crease of your legs, chest lifted, and come to a flat back. And then all the way down. Maybe you can get the top of your head pointing towards the floor. Maybe not. You are where you are. And then slightly bend the right knee and slightly bend the left knee. Coming into a Skandasana version. And then start sliding your hands back and forth, letting your toes turn outward as needed. And then come to one side if you can. If not, just keep scanning. And then the other side. And then back to center, toes pointing forward again. Lift up to flat back and all the way up to star. Lift the arms up, heel toe, the feet a little together, squat to goddess. And lift up, hands down. Turn to the front of the mat. Widen the feet just a little bit for our Malasana prep, although we're not going to do full Malasana, which is garland pose in English. So bring your hands to the floor or a block, bend your knees, and then straighten them. Modify as necessary. In other words, you may only come to here. Wherever you are is where your yoga is. One more time, down and then up. Heel toe the feet together or fist width apart. Bend the knees, reach up to chair. Utkatasana. Check your knees. You want to be able to see your toes. And forward fold. And flowing between forward fold and chair, lifting up to chair. And forward fold, bringing the arms all the way up behind you. And lift back up to chair. Exhale down. Inhale chair. And then this time we'll stay in chair and then lift all the way up and bring our arms down. Tadasana. Watch your breath, slow down. And then bring the right foot behind, balancing on the toe of that right foot. Right arm presses back towards the foot, left arm up for olive tree. And this can be your tree, or you can lift that back leg. But you always have that toe to rely on if you need it. And come back to neutral. Other side, left toe back, left arm pressing, right arm pressing up. So your arms are pressing in opposite directions. Lift the back toe. And back down to Tadasana. Step your right foot back and plant it at your warrior angle. Bend the front knee. Square your hips to the front of the room. Lift the arch of the back foot and watch what happens to your hips as you collapse the arch and lift the arch. So that hip is going back. Lift your arms. Warrior one. and warrior two. Reverse warrior. Slide that back arm down to your knee. Reach over with the upper arm. Look down or up. Extended side angle. Upper arm bends. Elbow to knee. Lift the back arm over the head. And again, look up or down. Straighten the front leg, lift the upper arm and the lower arm. Just let it hang. See where that's the proper space for it. And then you can press it against your leg or let it come to the floor. And again, you can look up or down. Your neck gets to be the boss here for that. And reach up. Back foot forward. Tadasana. Right leg back, planted at your ankle. Front knee bent. Lift the back arch. Square the shoulders to the front. Lift the arms. Virabhadrasana. 1. And warrior two. Keeping that back arch lifted. Peaceful warrior. Or reverse warrior. Upper elbow bends. Bring it to the lift the upper arm, straighten the knee, and find triangle. Lift up. Step forward. Step a little bit wide for goddess. Lift up. Heel toe the feet, mat width, toes still pointing outward. And 2 options here. Do your Malasana prep like we did earlier, or bring your hands to your heart and come into Malasana. Hands to the floor. Bring your knees back to the table. Cat and cow, your spine. And then walk your knees back and come to your bellies. You can rest your head on your hands. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Press those elbows and shoulders back. Lift up to cobra. And back down. Rest your head on your hands. Bend your knees and let your legs windshield wiper back and forth. Let your legs come down. Hands under your shoulders. Lift up through cobra and then all the way up to up dog. Back to child. Rest your arms. Let your hands touch your ankles and heels. And if your arms are long enough, you can keep them here as you lift up to the top of your head, no further than the top, and then back down. If you have short arms like me, your hands are probably going to slide up. And then when you're on your forehead again, go back and forth on your forehead. If you have a headache, this is awesome. And then stillness. Lift up to hero's pose. Hands in prayer. Bring your arms behind Yoga Mudra. Press them down. Lift your heart. And fold. Lift up. Sit off to one side and twist towards your feet. Lower your shoulders. Other side, lift up through hero, and then to the other side and twist. Back to center. Bring your legs out in front of you. Sitting up tall in Dandasana. My mat is falling apart and getting all over me. Then walk your hands forward to a seated forward fold. Paschimottanasana. And come into it gradually. Slide up. Bend your knees, sitting back on those sit bones. If you move back and forth, you can feel those sit bones. They're almost sharp. And then lift your feet, lift your arms for boat, Navasana. Bring your feet to the floor. Slowly roll down. Pelvic tilts, rocking on that sacrum, your low back, rocking to the tip. So you can actually, you have a little cave under your low back now. So moving with your breath, flattening out your low back, lifting your tailbone, and moving with your breath back and forth between these two poses, actually just rocking on your sacrum. But you're still following your breath. And then walking your feet closer to your tush. Walking your hands closer to your feet. Knees apart. As a matter of fact, let's get our blocks and put it right between your knees. So that's how far apart your knees should be. Now press your knees into that block and then lift your hips off the floor. Rock your shoulders underneath you. Clasp your hands if you would like that. And then lift. And don't hold your breath. Release the hands from out beneath you. Let your shoulders come out. And slowly, from your shoulders, lower your spine to the floor as slowly as you can. And release. Give those knees a hug. Rock back and forth. Bring your arms out to a T. Let your knees fall to the left. Look to the right. Knees come up. Rock back and forth. Drop the knees to the right. Look to the left. Lift your knees back up. Arms and legs up for dead possum, dead bug. Bend the knees. Let your hands grab hold of your feet. And press one knee towards the floor and then the other one. So you're rocking back and forth. And let your hands bring the soles of your feet together. Let your feet come to the floor, knees out, arms up overhead or in cactus arms. Supta Baddha Konasana. Supta is supine, Baddha is bound, Kona is angle, Asana is pose. This pose can calm the organs and muscles of the abdomen. Then bring your knees up. Find your Tootsie Roll towel and place it on your mat so that it's going to be underneath your knees. And then rock your shoulder blades underneath you. Let your feet fall out to the sides. And find your breath. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. And take deeper breaths. Let the movements come into your wrists and ankles. And then stretch your arms overhead and stretch your legs and toes to the opposite side of the room. Grow taller. And then side to side, stretching the right arm and the right leg. And then the left, and the right, and the left. Back to neutral. Bend the knees and give them a hug. And then rock to one side. And pressing into the hand, lift up to seated. Find your comfortable seated position. Bring your hands to your heart. Thank yourself for arriving on your mat today. And I thank you for sharing your practice with me. May you be well, happy, and peaceful. Namaste.